What's a podcast? I like your show.
How did I get here? Welcome to the Shipe Sports Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Shipe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, always Matthew Shipe, joined always by my co-host and producer, Paul.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? And joined always by my other co-host, Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. And today on the show, we have a very, very special guest. He is your Madden 16 champion back in 2016, Mr. Frank Sardoni, a.k.a. Stiff. Thank you for joining us, Frank.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
Which I say thank you, Stiff. Go ahead and tell the people about yourself so they can introduce better than, I'm sure you can introduce yourself better than I can.
Yeah, well, you did a pretty good job. You know, I'm the Madden 16 champion. I'm actually a pro sports player for Versus Sports organization for, Madden NFL's 18 season that's coming up. That's basically it. I live in New Jersey, and we're just going to take it from there.
And an avid Chicago Bears fan.
Yes, yeah, very, very big, very big. Well, I like to keep that in hiding right now since they're
Yeah,
not
I was
doing
gonna
so
say
good.
I'm not sure if that's something we want to put out there right
Before
this
we get
second.
to Madden, just real quick on you. What did you think about the draft pick? The number 2 pick. What did you think about it?
You know what? I hated it. And then I went to EA Play this year, met someone called Moonlight Swami. He's on YouTube, very good guy. He sold me on the first round pick, trading up. He sold me on him. I'm a believer now. I'm a believer, and we'll see what happens
We'll have to
this
wait
year.
and see.
Well, good. Mr. Trubisky.
Yep.
Is that gonna be your quarterback for Ultimate Team now?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I'd go that far yet. I don't know how to go that far yet.
So let's talk about Madden. Let's talk about your 16 championship. You went up against in the final game. You actually had to beat a good amount of competitors to get there, but you went up against, I guess I'm sure you can agree, the GOAT of Madden, Eric Wright, who was 4-0 in championships. Just when you went to go play in the finals, obviously you started off very strong. Was there anything in your head like nervous, scared, or you're going in thinking I can beat this guy?
No, you have to go into these games thinking that you could beat anybody, because if you can't, you're just going to get eaten alive. You know, a lot of people like to say in the community, play the game, not the name. It basically means play how you'll always be playing. If you think that you're going to be playing, Prom, who's considerable the best player of all time, that gets into your head. You're going to start doubting yourself on different plays, on different drives. And next thing you know, big fourth down, big third down comes up. You're going to psych yourself out. Yep. And in reality, if you just played your game, you could have converted that third down and all that stuff. And right. So that's basically the mentality that I went into that.
Yeah. We're joined by Frank Sardoni, a.k.a. Stiff from Madden. Man, you went up pretty big. You got the fumble at the beginning, capitalized on that, and you really shut down his run game problem, which a little different Ultimate Team. He had Gronk at fullback, and you really put a stop to that. I mean, what was your game plan going into that? Just was it more focused on the run, since Problem really doesn't pass the ball that much? Was it just run defense for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I pretty much had a, instinct on what he was actually going to run. We always think about that going into it.
Of course.
And prior to that game, the rules on how, Madden Championship works and how most of them work is you're not allowed to change your playbook until you move on to the single elimination round. So when I was in the group play, which is the first, the round of 32, I had one defensive playbook. And then once I got out of the top 32, I had to make a decision. And since I saw Problem was on the opposite side of the bracket, I decided to go Kansas City defensive just in case I matched up with him. And that's ended up happening because it had a special defensive formation that stopped the fullback dive in the backfield. And I had the players just right so that, that Rob Gronkowski was not fair. It was hard for me to stop, but I had the hit power in the backfield in order to lay a couple hits on him. I got a couple fumbles. Things were just going my way that game.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, was what was the play? Because we started playing Madden what year, like 2003?
Back in the day. When
the one I remember like distinctly was when Marshall Faulk was on the cover.
Yep.
So I think that was 2003 if I remember. Back then, like at least when we were playing, obviously not competitively, but when we were playing each other, it seemed like the defense to have was like a man defense. But the game has changed so much since then. Now when we play, it's mainly zone. And when I noticed when you were picking your plays, it was a zone blitz. And I was going to ask you kind of what play was it that you thought was your go-to play, or that was your go-to play to stop it in the backfield, especially the fullback dive?
Well, the fullback dive defense was different than my main defense I was running the whole tournament.
Okay.
The main defense I was running was a zone blitz. It was crossfire blitz. Basically,
Yeah.
It's a cover 3 shell with a bunch of adjustments behind it. And what would happen is, the center would dumb out because he wouldn't see that the crossfire blitz was looping in.
Yeah.
And I had so much speed and so much coverage behind it and so much hit power that the only way to really advance the ball in Madden 16 was to dink and dunk on drags in which you were going to get hit by a 99 hit power safety or linebacker, or to, aggressive catch in which I had 299 Sean Taylors at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The defense to stop the fullback dive was a little bit different. I believe
Okay.
it was 3-4 odd. And what would happen is, you pinch your line or you spread them, you do something with your linebackers. And what would happen is, depending on which way he ran the dive, we practiced these different schemes over and over again. The way the formation was just set up, it would just leave one of your linebackers to come in untouched.
Yeah.
And it would just be basically Gronk versus linebacker. And basically at that moment it's almost kind of like a crapshoot,
Yep.
Does he truck me? Does he get hit stick? So
Right.
I like those odds rather than what other people were running, because also you have to think about it. He wasn't really getting momentum. And momentum is a thing I believe in Madden. If he gets up to his speed, he has a higher chance of trucking somebody when if you're just handing the ball off and you're getting hit in the backfield, that likelihood of getting trucked, goes down significantly.
Yeah, we're joined by Stiff, Madden 16 champion. On your road to play problem, you had to go through Serious Mo, who was the reigning champion. Then I believe you also had to go against, I hope I'm not wrong, that your friend Lights Out, who I read got you into Madden.
Yes, correct.
So I mean, you didn't have an easy road to problem. You had to go against Serious Mo and Lights Out. So going through those two guys, what were going through your head? Were you? I'm sure you never looked forward, but when you were matched up against Lights Out, with you two going against each other, you pretty much knew what you had to do against them, correct?
Yeah, that's the hard. That was. Looking back at it, the score is one answer, but it was so much harder of a game because, he taught me everything I knew about the game, and he knew everything that I was running. You kind of try and save something in your back pocket that he doesn't really know about.
Yep.
But the scheme that I was running that he should have ran. I don't know why he wasn't running that scheme. He created that scheme, but the scheme was just so tough that it's hard, and that's what makes such a great scheme in Madden is even if you know what's coming, it's still hard to stop. And what made the formation so much better is that it was just symmetrical. So you thought it was going to the right hand side. I just flipped it. You didn't know I flipped it because you weren't paying attention, or my quarterback doesn't make a specific move when I flipped it. And next thing you know, when you think it's going to the right side, it's going to the left side. So it's almost like a little game of chess. And if you guess wrong, you get hurt.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you fast forward to Madden this year. He was talking about the blitz. And this year was it was the cover 2 blitz, where no one, for some reason, that nickel could never get picked up. I'm sure, Stiff, you saw in all the tournaments, for some reason that nickel always came through. What was up with that? It was almost like, you think about when you watch football, someone would pick them up. It was like in Madden, it was just like, let them just go through. Did you think for Madden 18 they definitely have to fix that a little bit on picking up the blitzes a little bit better for the offensive linemen?
I know personally they did fix it for Madden 18.
Okay.
So when I went out to EA Play, I got to play a little bit of it. I can give you guys a little bit better of an insight in a little bit. But yeah, cool. This year was a little bit tough because what would happen is, an end user or your opponent would take his linebacker, put him over the line of scrimmage, and hold right. Doesn't really do anything, but it makes the offensive line look at him. The offensive line has to look at the user over the center because the way the programming worked, and I talked to one of the developers. I'm buffing on his name right now. But what would happen is that when you call hike, the offensive line has to look at the guy in the A gap first, and then it looks at everyone else. So it basically looks at the A gap, then looks at the B gap, then looks at the C gap, and then looks at the edges. So it's reading the edge blitz last. Mm-hmm. And even if you slide protect, the way you think the blitz is coming, it still didn't matter because you're putting that user over the line of scrimmage, basically under the center, and they have to respect that guy because the way that it's programmed, it's basically like, would you rather have the A gap come in or the edge blitz come in? Obviously, it's programmed to protect the A gap first because that comes in quicker than the edge blitz. Mm-hmm. And it was hard this year, especially for symmetrical formations like what I ran this year, which was jumbo heavy. It's the same thing, a symmetrical formation. Even if I ran the tight slots that I did in 16, it was tough. It would have been tough because you don't know which side the blitz is coming from. He's putting his user over the center, and you couldn't really pick up the blitz.
Right.
Now you go ahead, Paul.
I was just gonna say, for someone who doesn't, who loves to play, the Madden and stuff like that, but I don't play it maybe as much as you guys do. It's just fascinating to hear how deep, like the practicing or the training or the research goes. Like talking to the developers, that's awesome. I never would have thought that was part of your prep, or part of your game. But that's pretty. I mean, but now that you say it, why not? Like it's there. They'll talk to you. Why not even try to figure that stuff out? That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, this year for you, obviously, you didn't make the final 32 for the championship, which I think is wrong. I think the previous winner should get to go, and I even commented you on your Twitter about that, and you liked the post.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you back this year? Are we going to see a resurgence of Stiff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to go just like I did last year. It was just a bunch of bad breaks happened last year. Ooh, ding. I like that.
Do you think the competition got a little bit better, or do you think it was just from the game? Maybe the gameplay
definitely
changed different?
No, I mean, gameplay definitely changed. Competition got way better. People heard $1 million on the line altogether.
Yeah,
a lot of different
right.
people came in that didn't try last year, tried this year. So, yeah, that was definitely a mixture of both different things that definitely occurred. So, yeah.
I think one of the bigger storylines this year, funny, was I'm sure Stiff knows about this, the non-handshake between Jones and young Kev. That was a pretty interesting story.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious, man. I didn't even see it live. Someone told me that D Jones beat him by like 50, or I was like, you're kidding. He was like, no, he literally beat him by like 30. I was like, are you kidding me?
And
he beat him by 30?
He was talking throughout the game, and when he went to give the handshake, young Kev just went right off the stage like it was nothing.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't like somebody, no one says you have to shake their hand.
But it was
No one
like
says you
that
have
whole
to do it.
tournament. That was the main thing, was just the non-handshake. But then Jones went on to lose too. Spot me, please. The main champion this year was Skimbo, and I think everyone can say it was a long time coming. I think you agree with that, Stiff. It was a long time.
Yeah,
coming for him.
He's 1-3 in championships now. He was previously 0-2. I thought he was going to win the Classic. He should have won the Classic. He was unstoppable, and then he ran into Beast Mode. I don't know. Beast Mode had the defense for him, so I mean, good for him. And he finally pulled it out in the championship. Well deserved for him. A long time coming, and thankfully he got it off the snide that we like to call it in baseball, I guess. and he got one of the championships, so good for him.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, I remember I went to a Madden challenge back in the original one where you didn't have Ultimate Team. It was just you went in with your team, and that was it. And I was running like with Vince Young with the Titans, and of course I get called just a guy running the ball, and I'm like, I have a Vince Young jersey. Obviously, I'm a fan, but
yeah,
I did a tournament at GameStop, and I did a 98-yard touchdown with Vince Young, and the guy just said, I'm done.
Well, that's what I was going to talk to you about. That was the last time you and I both entered a tournament.
Yeah, it was
and
Yep.
I don't think we advanced past the first round.
I got to the third round. That was it. I got to the quarterfinals, and that was it. I got through the first.
I
two
don't
rounds.
remember how many rounds there were, but I remember I was winning the game, and there was like 10 seconds left, and the dude caught a Hail Mary pass on the sideline, like a glitch catch. And, of course, my defender just kind of, like, trips and falls, and then, boom, he gets a touchdown for the win. I've never played in a tournament since then. I was so upset.
I want to challenge all you guys to a game of 10-yard fight.
All right.
That was my game back in the day.
Okay. All right.
So now my next question for Stiff, Madden 16 champion, is someone like, I think more than Chris, I play online. I'll do the draft champions. I do the ultimate team. As someone who doesn't go out and pay the money, to buy the pats and everything, what can I do to get to that next level? Maybe not like top 132, but maybe like top 1,000 or 500. What can I do to improve to get to that next level, knowing that I can't go out and spend the money like on pats and stuff?
Yeah. So basically, first thing you need to do is, go to look up some tutorials on YouTube. I know this year on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be posting basic stuff like, how to run the ball, do different types of jukes, like really dumb it down for players that don't really need to, that don't really know how to play the game. Next thing to do is, hit up those tutorials inside the game. They're going to do a pretty good job this year in Madden 18 to make sure that, new users and mediocre users learn, maybe the mediocre things on how to do in the game. And to, get to, and while you are doing those, you're also earning different coins and packs in Madden Ultimate Team. So that's actually a pretty cool way how they're incorporating it. They actually started doing that in Madden 17. You complete some of these campaigns on how to throw the ball, how to do specific moves in the game. You earn some packs, some cool little rewards towards your Madden Ultimate team. You can build it out that way. And then, if you really want to go to the Ultimate, I can't really announce something right now because it's in the works. I just signed a big deal on a new platform that's going to be coming out soon. I can't really say anything because I'm under NDA for right now. But something is going to be coming out in the coming weeks, right before the launch of Madden, or it's right after the launch of Madden. That if you guys really want to take your game to the next level, you guys can go on the website and check out all that cool stuff. So I'll leave you guys with that.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, now for Madden 18, they got a new mode out, Long Shot, which is almost like the Journey mode in FIFA.
Dude, I saw that and was so excited.
Did you get to try that out at all while you were at EA Play or no?
It's funny because I had the chance to try it out. I chose not to because I'm not interested. I'm a competitive player.
Yeah.
I'm a competitive player in and out. It has nothing to do with competitive gameplay.
Doesn't.
I'm not going to have any, I'm not going to put any of my effort really into it.
That's
is it very cool?
Yeah.
Is it very cool? And is it going to get people off the couch and get people going? Absolutely. The graphics are insane. The art that they put into it, the amount of hours that they put into it is absolutely insane. People are going to absolutely love it. Is it for me, a competitive player? No, it's not. I didn't play it, but it definitely looks cool. It definitely will get new users onto the game and into something different that Madden hasn't offered anybody in recent years.
And I saw this year, which Chris, I don't know if you heard about this, they're bringing back 3v3 competition competitive Madden. How did you get to try that out, and what's that like?
Yeah, I did get to try that out. So it's definitely something that you guys are going to want to get into. They did tell us that it's not going to be in the competitive scene. They don't think. So it's not something, right off the bat that I'm going to dip my feet into, but it's something that's going to be fun for, Twitch, for YouTube, for other creators that like to record Madden on YouTube as well. It's definitely going to get people off the couch again, just like Long Shot. And, it's a team based this time. So it's not like 1v1. You can get people, you can get your friends on board. It's very fun. Choose a coach, choose a defensive coordinator, choose an offensive coordinator. Go right at it. Matchmaking is going to be insane. It's definitely going to be fun. People are actually going to probably develop different types of blitzes because, you can control 3 people instead of 1 on the defensive line.
Right.
So, yeah, it's definitely going to be something to try out. I'm definitely going to play it, but I'm not going to put I'm not going to invest full hours into it or full days into it.
Yeah, going back to Long Shot, I was gonna say, I used to buy the Madden every single year, back to back, no matter what. But just in the past maybe 5-6 years, it's been kind of like every other Madden. We've grown up.
We got work now.
We've grown up a little bit. We got work. We got bills to pay. Stuff like that. But definitely, I bought Madden 17, and I probably wasn't going to buy Madden 18 until I saw Long Shot. And as a casual player, Long Shot to me was like, okay, this is interesting. I would definitely buy it just for that because I enjoyed the FIFA version of it. And for me, I'm buying it just strictly off of that.
See, my main thing for Madden is draft champions. When they added that 2 years ago, I thought it was the most awesome feature they put in the game. I don't know who came up with the idea. I think it was great. But moving on from the Madden talk now, I did ask you if you could come up maybe with a good list of your top tight ends. So as of right now, who do you since this is going to be our theme for the show, is going to be our top 10 tight ends. Stiff, do you have maybe a top 5 in NFL tight ends? I'm sure we all know who number 1 is, but 2 through 5.
Are we talking history, like extra?
No. This year.
Okay, so in the league right now.
We're doing a countdown on my show we're doing all offensive skill positions starting with the tight ends. So this year, give us your so we don't keep you on any longer than we said. Your top 5 list of tight ends this year.
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys 5. All right, I'm gonna go from 5 to 1, and we'll see how that ends up.
Sounds about right.
All right, so now at number 5, I'm gonna go with I think Martellus Bennett. I love him. He's a little out there. Obviously, ex-Bear probably contributes into the factor why he's number 5. Just got a Super Bowl ring, so congrats to him.
And he's got Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah,
That's scary.
I probably why he's number 5 too.
Yep.
Right now, he could have been a lot higher. He stayed with if he's even stayed with the Patriots. But let's go up to number 4 is going to be. I think I'm going to go with Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce. I think he's a very good tight end. Very good tight end this year in Madden too. For some reason, for me, he didn't drop a lot of balls, so that's a plus in my book. So let's go to number 3. We're going to go with Jimmy Graham.
All right.
I like
All right.
Jimmy Graham. He's also another great tight end that people use in Madden as well. I like him on the Seattle Seahawks. Loved him when he was in the Saints. Number
Definitely.
2 is going to be Greg Olsen. Again, for various reasons, he's an ex-Bear. I like him on Carolina. He's always good on my fantasy team. And plus, he actually a little cool little thing here. Greg Olsen went to Wayne Hills, and I would have went to Wayne Hills. I grew up in Wayne, New Jersey. I would have went to that high school that he
Awesome.
went to, but I moved out in 8th grade to where I live now. So that's also a contributing factor. A little fun fact for you guys. And number 1, Rob Gronkowski. You gotta go with Gronk at number 1.
That's the
There it is,
consensus
the ding.
pick.
Gotta go with Rob. One of the main reasons why I won the championship.
Yeah.
His
passes.
his acts outside of the football are just hilarious. Seeing him on Twitter all the time, just acting a fool, just really looking like he enjoys life.
The ultimate bro. I mean,
Nah,
100%.
He had a WrestleMania appearance this year, which was awesome.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, so if you wanted me to go a little bit longer, a couple people that just missed the list, probably Tyler Eifert. He's always good. I like Tyler Eifert, Kyle Rudolph, Delaney Walker.
There
Those
we go.
guys are in the
That's what I
backfield
want to hear.
somewhere.
Delaney.
Yeah, Delaney Walker.
Now we're in the DC area. Where would you have Jordan Reed at? on that
That's
list?
exactly what I was gonna ask.
Oh, Jordan Reed, he is the top tight end. You know what? I'll be completely honest with you guys. I forgot about him.
Well, I think sometimes he
doesn't
forgets
make
things
the top
too.
5, though. He doesn't. It's funny. He's not my top 5 still, but I did forget about him. He is a very good tight end. Fast. Very, very quick.
Very fast
Very
for a
quick.
tight
He could
end.
stay healthy. He could be.
I was gonna say that's
Yep.
the only downfall is his health.
Yep.
All right, well,
Absolutely.
I think that's gonna do it for us with Stiff, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show as a fan, man. This is awesome getting to talk to you. It's funny when you're
Definitely.
watching the problem game. He was just going out loud. I mean, now you can actually hear him more calm,
Yep.
not in the moment.
Yeah.
But we
Absolutely,
really
guys.
appreciate you coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for inviting me. Had fun.
Yep, sure. Why don't you tell everybody again what what your Twitter is, your Twitter handle, your YouTube page, and all that good stuff.
Oh, I keep it very simple, guys. Official Stiff on everything: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Twitch is actually just twitch.tv/Stiff. I actually know some people over at Twitch. They got me that username for my personal game, just Stiff.
Excellent, nice.
Nice.
So, and just in case, we included a lot of that information in the descriptions of the video. So just look down there; it'll take you right to his pages. And what about? I noticed that you had 2 other. You had
Mudhead and Madden Daily. You're part of that as well.
Yes, yeah, Mudhead, the number 1 source for anything Madden Ultimate Team. It's the number 1 Madden Ultimate Team database that you guys will ever find. And then also Madden Daily. You know, those are the guys that brought me into Madden community. That's where I started everything. That's where I started YouTube. That's where I started Twitch. Everything. Can't be any more grateful for those guys. They got great tips each and every week. Even for the Madden 18 season, they will provide you guys what you guys need.
I use Mudhead a lot to see how much my cards are worth, and I swear every week they just go down, down, and down.
That's what's going to happen unless a promo comes out, big guy. You know, you never know.
I did put a little money out for that fan appreciation, and I did pull a rookie Jalen Ramsey, so I had 2 of them, so I was able to sell one for a good amount.
Very good. I haven't pulled packs since December.
very nice. Well, thanks again, Frank, and we hope maybe in the future we'll get you back on. Maybe if you win another championship, we'll definitely have you back on even before then. If you
liked it enough.
Yeah.
Of course, anything for some fans. Thank you
definitely
guys.
just got
Thank
one
you.
more follower on Instagram. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks
We'll
again.
keep in touch. All right, everybody. It's Frank, Mr.
Yes.
Stiff, champion
And
2016.
Good luck next year with
Yeah, good luck in
2018.
18. We'll all be rooting
We'll
for
be
you.
watching on Facebook Live, which is definitely another good thing. I noticed that this year it's on Facebook
Thank you.
Live. I mean, that's awesome. I definitely
Yeah.
tuned in at work. I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks
hopefully,
again, guys.
hopefully my boss
again.
isn't listening right now.
All right, see you, Frank.
Thanks a lot.
Oh man.
Well, that was awesome, man. That was Stiff from Madden. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man.
What's that stuff I'm hearing? Oh, there we go.
I think that was Stiff's audio was still kind of coming through for a little bit.
So that was awesome. That's really good, man. Madden 16 champion going out to try to get a Madden 18 championship.
Definitely.
So let's continue what we were talking about with him. Let's go through our top 10. After hearing it, I'm gonna go with so one. Can we both agree Gronk?
100%.
Okay.
There's no question. I mean, ultimate athlete freak, and he can catch the ball,
And he can wrestle.
and he can run, and he can wrestle. All right.
Speaking of wrestling, I want to talk about someone when we're done with this. I don't know
All
if
right.
you saw the highlights from D'Angelo Williams' name. They were pretty good.
I did not.
They're pretty good.
I heard that they were really
They're
good.
pretty. We'll talk about that. So I'll go through my top 10. Number 2, I have Jordan Reed.
Okay,
A lot of
all
people
right.
are going to be like, what? First off, as you can see, I'm not a Redskins fan, so I'm not being biased because we're in the DMV. But it's mostly because the athleticism he brings. He is a little bit injury prone, but this guy, if he'd actually played 16 games, he'd probably be up with Gronk, I think, with stats.
I agree with you, but I don't have him that high. So
Well, I have it because
All
the
right,
way
go
he
ahead.
should
That's
be.
fine.
The way he should
this
perform.
is your list.
Yeah.
This is your list.
3, I'm going to have Kelsey.
Okay.
4, Olsen. 5, I'm going to have Delaney Walker. You may call me a little bit of a homer, but Walker's had, ever since he's moved to Tennessee, getting from beneath the shadow of Vernon Davis at the 49ers, he's done nothing but get better every year. And like I said, when there's a rookie quarterback, who's your number one favorite person?
Well, he's not a rookie anymore.
He's not a
so-
rookie, but his first year, Walker
and
really,
he's got new weapons.
He does. So we'll see what happens this year, but as of
Right.
right now, he's definitely a top 5.
Okay.
6, I have Jimmy Graham. 7, Tyler Eifert. 8, Bennett. Obviously, just because of the quarterback he has this year, I think he's going to put up monster numbers. 9, I have Hunter Henry from San Diego. Now, last year, you had Antonio Gates there, but when Gates
You mean
went,
L.A.?
excuse me, L.A. He had Antonio Gates last year, but when Gates went down, Henry put up some really monster
No, he
numbers
did.
in fantasy.
He's definitely an up and comer.
And
without a
10,
doubt.
little surprise here. Russian fans are going to hate me. I have Jason Witten because of what he does year in and year out. Yes, he's getting up there in age, but he still will always be a reliable top 10 tight end to me.
That's what I was gonna say. Tony Romo, that was his safety blanket without a doubt. And now that he's not the starter, now that we have a new signal caller, I'm not sure that's his favorite weapon. And
Well, I
I
think
have a
Dak
feeling that
knows
they're going
just-
to lean more on the run than they did last year. Well, or just about
but
the
as
same.
of right now, I think he's definitely a top 10. And he'll definitely go down as a top 10, I think, all time.
In
as well.
ability, yes, I would agree with you. But in terms of like overall stats, I don't think he's going to crack the top 10.
Okay. All right.
We'll
So-
see though.
all
We'll
right,
see
let's go
though.
ahead and
This
see
is your
yours.
list. This is
All
your
right.
list. Okay, so number 1, obviously Rob Gronkowski. I think he's the number 1 tight end overall. Number 2, I have Travis Kelce, just because of the fact that he's got a very similar build and athleticism as Rob Gronkowski. And I do have a feeling that he's going to be even more productive than he was last year. Number 3 I have is Jordan Reed. Obviously, I'm a Redskins fan, and this may be biased, but I do agree with you that he's got the athleticism, he's got the speed. Kirk Cousins is gonna. There's a very strong, what was it called? Like a strong hint that he's not gonna be here any longer. So he's gonna ball out this year, so he can get paid next year. And some of his best games are when Jordan Reed has his best games.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Reed, I think, is gonna be a solid number 3. Number 4, I have Delaney Walker. I agree with you that Delaney Walker is a force to be reckoned with.
We'll see
and
what his stats are like with the weapons.
That's the thing. Here's
but
the deal.
This may help him because he won't have to be relied on.
That's exactly what I was going to say, is that they may have to focus more on the outside receivers, and that may leave the inside or
Open to him.
middle of the field open for Delaney Walker this year. So I have him at number 4. Number 5 I have is Greg Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just a beast, and I think he will go in the top 10 overall ever for tight ends. But I think this year, with the draft pick that they made in Christian McCaffrey, I'm not sure how that's going to factor in with their offense. So I think he'll still be a top 5 receiver, or tight end, excuse me. But I'm not sure if they're going to go to him as often as they are, or as they have been in the past. So I still think he's a top 5 tight end, though. Number 6, I have Tyler Eifert. I think he's just another athletic freak. He's tall, he's long, he can catch the ball. I think Cincinnati has a high-powered offense. They have to focus on A.J. Green, which takes a lot of. So he'll get a lot of one-on-one coverage. Number 7, I have Jimmy Graham. If he was still on the Saints, I think he'd be top 5 easily. But the fact that the Seahawks are a top 5. Not top 5. The Seahawks are a run-first offense. I think that just limits his opportunities. I think he could do so much more if he was still on the Saints, but he is still a threat, 100%.
Okay.
So number 8, I have Martellus Bennett. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. The Pack's The Packers haven't really had a top 10 tight end in a while, but he is a force to be reckoned with, and Aaron Rodgers is an elite quarterback. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work out. I think number 9, I have Zach Ertz. I think Philly is going to be another pass-first offense, and I think that the defenses within the NFC East are going to be pretty prone to give up a lot of passing yards. So I think Zach Ertz has a lot of opportunities to be a top 10 tight end. And number 10 is going to be a little bit of an outlier, kind of a risky pick, I think. But O.J. Howard, rookie for Tampa Bay. I mean, that offense is stacked. You've got Mike Evans, you've got Deshaun Jackson, and now you have O.J. Howard, which is, the overall top tight end in the draft class that just happened. So I think that's going to be an interesting play. I think he could win a lot of fantasy football championships if he is drafted in the later rounds and he ends up being a top 10 tight end. He could win a lot of championships for us. So I think that'll round out my top 10.
Okay. All right, so there's our top 10. Like I said, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing over offensive skill position players because we just don't have enough time to do every player, plus it'd be way too hard.
That's a lot. We could probably dedicate a whole episode to that, but
that'd be like a 3-hour episode.
Yeah.
So next week we're gonna go wide receiver. The week after that will be running backs, quarterbacks, and that will lead us up to our fantasy football preview show. So
I can't wait, man.
It's funny is people are like, oh, then they're doing no. This is our top 10 actuals, and then you'll hear our fantasy ones. And I tell you what, you haven't done the league yet. You need it.
What are you talking about?
My
league?
You got to renew that.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, we still have one spot left in the Shife Sports Talk league. Our producer finally decided to sign up for the show, sign up for the league.
I had an extra one right here if you wanted one. But
Only took him 3 months.
It's all good.
So let's move away from football. First,
hurts.
real one quick question.
Yeah,
yes or no? We don't need to get into it. Yes
Sure.
or no? Sure. Does he sign a deal by Monday, Kirk Cousins?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
Let's move on to what is baseball. We just had the All-Star break.
Yep.
The AL won 2-1. I thought it was a lot of people were like, "Oh, it was boring." I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's one of those great defensive battles.
Did you watch it all?
I did not, but
Max Scherzer.
I heard that Max Scherzer put on a show.
2 strikeouts, struck out Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Struck out
who is the home run derby champ?
Struck out George Spinner, who's one of the leading batters in the AL. And I tell you what, man, every pitch he threw, he was grunting. They did a little thing on MLB.com, grunts versus pitches thrown, and they were pretty much equal. He was going hard, man. He didn't care. That's the thing about Scherzer.
Yeah.
And that's why this year I think Scherzer, even though wins or loss isn't there, Scherzer's a better pitcher than Kershaw this year. And this is my reason why.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like whenever Scherzer pitches, you can almost I feel like I'm about to witness a no-hitter or 20 strikeouts. For some reason, I don't get that from Kershaw. He may be dominant, but I don't get that from him. I think it's because of the mentality Scherzer has. And even a lot of analysts are saying this year it's Scherzer's year because he's taken a lot of no-hitters into like the 5th inning this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's
my number one guy. I think he could win the Cy Young again this year.
I think so, but it's still early. We still got half a season left. We'll see how he does.
Healthy
but
or not.
I think I remember seeing a stat on ESPN or on SportsCenter where Kershaw actually does better after the All-Star break. He actually has a lower ERA after the All-Star break. So if right now he's your number 2 guy, if Kershaw gets better and Max Scherzer stays the same,
well, here we go. I'm pulling up right now. Scherzer's ERA 2.10. Yep. Kershaw's 2.18. Kershaw's 14-2. Scherzer's 10-5.
Mm-hmm.
How many more wins would Scherzer have if his bullpen didn't blow it?
That's the next point. Because
obviously, if you're 10-5 and your ERA is 2.10, something's going on.
Yeah.
It may not be you.
It isn't him. No. I mean, we
and then we'll go
know
to
that.
Strikeouts, 173 for Scherzer, 159 for Kershaw. I mean, they're right. I mean, they're right there on everything.
They're very close.
Sales at 178, so he's just ahead. WHIP, Scherzer and Kershaw. There you go.
They're definitely the top 2 pitchers. Huh?
Oh, no.
What was that?
Did you say whip?
Yeah,
Just
whip.
Immediately thought nay. Never mind.
Shut up.
Boo.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a boo. And complete game. Well, they're not up there in complete games because you got to try to save them for the playoff. I think so. But let's go into baseball now. Like we said, the All-Star game. Harper went 1 for 1. He had a single and a walk. He had a pretty good single off of Sale. It was a pretty grunt. Home run derby champ was Adam Judge. reigning champion Stanton was eliminated in the first round, 17-16 by Gary Sanchez. And Gary Sanchez, good for him for beating Stanton because Logan Morrison, before the home run derby, said Sanchez doesn't belong. He's like, I had 16 home runs after a couple months. Guess what? Sanchez just beat the reigning champion.
Right.
So I think Morrison should go
that's a statement right
keep
there.
his mouth shut.
That's a statement.
So let's go to standings right now. Let's go through them all. What I should have done was look at our predictions beginning of the year, and I didn't. So shame on me. I'll do that for next week. For the AL, the East, we have Boston in first. They're 3.5 ahead of Yankees and Tampa Bay. Baltimore, who started off strong, down to fourth place, 7.5 games back. So they're taking a U-turn.
But that's still that's doable. 7.5 games
pitching.
Isn't, you know.
And so Central, you have Cleveland. Obviously, they're back up top again, 47-40, 2.5 ahead of Minnesota, 3 games ahead of Kansas City. That's going to be a good. And then here, let's get to the blowout division. Houston. 16.5 ahead of the Angels and Texas. I didn't have Houston. I think I had Texas again.
I was going to say, I don't think any of us had Houston.
16.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's my question. Over under, they win by 20 games. Or 20 games ahead, over under, end of the season.
I think under.
Under? Do you think it'll be under?
20 games is a lot.
They're 16.5
I
now.
know, but
they could go on like a 10-game losing streak and still beat. It's ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly. And Anthony and I kind of touched base on that none of us thought that was going to be
I think they're going to win the division.
Dominant.
Anyone, as of right now, all the division leaders, I think them and
Anthony was saying that they may not have a significant game for a whole month, 2 months.
So I think for me right now, let's go through the other divisions. I'll say this.
All right.
NL East, Nationals, 9.5 ahead of the Braves, then Miami, the Mets, Phillies, Phillies. I think they have the worst. They have the worst record in baseball. They're on pace for well over 100 loss season.
Wow.
Then we get to
It's wild.
NL Central, Milwaukee, 5.5 lead over Chicago. Question now is, do they keep that? That's where the question comes.
Yeah.
If you're a Nats fan, I mean, right now the Dodgers are 9 games ahead of first place. So right now, if you're a Nats fan, you want Milwaukee to win because that's who you're going to face in the first round. Then we get down to the West. Dodgers 7.5 lead over Arizona, and then Colorado is 9.5. But here's the thing: Arizona is 53-36. Colorado is 52-39. I mean, that's probably going to be your wild card teams.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good right now. Now, I think we all can agree right now. I think right now, surefire people who will stay in the lead come the end of the season will probably be the Nationals, Dodgers, and Houston. Do you agree on those 3?
Yeah.
No, they won't be touched.
No.
I can still see the Yankees maybe making a run and maybe getting back to first place. They're pretty much, they were flip-flopping a little bit. They're 3.5 back. We'll see what Judge can do. It's tremendous what he can be a home run hitter in average. I think Cleveland, they're 2.5 now, but I think they're going to start working their way ahead.
Yeah.
Kansas City is still only starting to creep back up. Houston, just skip.
Skip.
Nationals, they figure out the bullpen, they'll be good. Milwaukee.
Who?
The Nationals.
Oh, I thought you said Nashville. I was like, what?
No, Nationals.
Nashville?
Milwaukee, got to see how Chicago goes around. And the Dodgers should clearly walk away with that division. Dodgers just
barring injury.
Chicago just made a trade. The Cubs just got Jose Quintana. I probably butchered his last name. Starting pitcher from the White Sox in the deal.
Yeah.
So he just literally went from north to south and whatever. The Dodgers are saying rumors to go after Zack Britton. Can you imagine that bullpen with Zack Britton and then Kelly Jansen?
Well, that was my next question to you about the bullpen is what are we doing with our closer?
I would love to have Zack Britton.
Yeah.
We need a bullpen help. But you know what the Dodgers are doing? They're mimicking what Cleveland did last year when they went and got the Yankees closer, Andrew Miller, and used him in a setup role. That's almost what the Dodgers are doing, it looks like.
And Miller is definitely, he was known for his closing abilities, but I mean, if you can use him as a setup, why not?
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go through real quick. We'll stay with the local team real quick. We'll go to the Nationals. Let's go look at their hitting average.
Okay.
Murphy, 342. Zimmerman, 330. Good. Congrats to him. Nationals had 5 starters in the All-Star game. Did I get it right? 5?
I don't know.
Scherzer, Harper, Murphy, Zim.
Well, Rendon was kind of like almost
he
there.
Was there. But they had 5. They had 4 starters, 5 people. Strasburg, who didn't get the pitch, he was actually going to come. He was warming up to come in the 12th in case it went there. They saved him because the game was so tight. If they had a starter, he could go a little bit further.
Yeah.
So as I said, Zimmerman, congrats to him. It's been 8 years since his last All-Star appearance. Great year for him so far. You have Harper hitting 325. Rendon, who started the season at like 220 hitting, up to 304. You know what game got him the resurgence?
I was going to say, it's partly, in fact, of the game that we
where he had 3 home runs?
witnessed.
Len,
Shout out to Anthony.
Lynn's hitting 300, but that's impressive for someone coming off the bench and only
Yeah.
playing every other day. I think that's impressive.
Yeah.
Usually bench players, if you get 260, 250 out of them, you're doing good. This guy's hitting 300. Eaton's on here, and then next person is everyday player Trey Turner's hitting 279. Weeder's 240.
Is that surprising to you? 279.
Turner, it is, but I think the thing was before he got re-injured again, he had started slow in the season. Because remember, he got the hamstring hurt in like the first couple of games. He got hot, and then he got hurt again. So he was actually playing before he got hurt again. He was, I mean, what he had like a couple days in a row where he stole like 6 or something bases in like a 3-game span. So he was getting going again. So get him coming back. Worth, they said will be back next week.
Okay.
So that helps. He was hitting 262. Weeder's 244. He was hitting good. Now he's on the outs right now, but that's fine. In terms of home run, Harper 20, Zim 19, Rendon 16. Most thanks a lot to a 3 home run game. That helps.
Against who?
The Mets.
Oh, okay.
Anthony's probably watching this going, I hate these guys. RBIs, Harper 65, Murphy 64, and okay, this is real funny.
What?
It goes Harper 65, Murphy 64, Zimmerman 63.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the lead, I'm trying to pull that up. Oh, they're not top. I just lost. Oh, Harper's number 8.
I was gonna say, I think I see a Nationals player right
Now, here's my question for home runs in terms of the lead. Judge has 30.
there. Okay.
Is he on the 60 home run watch?
Yeah.
You think he is?
I mean,
Now,
if you go halfway through the season with 30,
60, yeah.
then you're on pace to get 60.
do we put him on the Barry Bonds watch for 73?
I don't know.
Maybe if he has a good rest of the month.
I was gonna say he's got to start showing.
If he bangs out the rest of, let's say, what do we have left in September? Like 2 weeks left in July. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If he bangs out, let's say 10 or 11 in this month.
Yeah.
And he has 41 going to August.
Yeah.
Then do we put the watch
I
on
think
maybe
so.
for Barry?
Yeah.
You think they'll start doing the countdown at the bottom of Sports Center? Oh wait, they don't do that anymore because Sports Center is like dead.
I
the way-
I watch it at like 1 in the morning.
By the way, I want to talk about that. It sucks now in the morning.
I watch it with
Sucks in the morning.
who's the guy?
Scott Van Pelt?
Yeah, I watch it with SVP.
I remember in the morning. Now that I don't work because of school,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning. It's not the same like it used to be. Like
I know.
like
Get
I
up
miss
that early.
I miss rest in peace Stuart Scott. He was great on it.
Right.
When
One of the
Chris
all-time
Berman
greats.
did it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just when Scott Van Pelt did it in the morning. Who's the guy that went to NFL Network? Dan Patrick. Like those guys were
Okay.
awesome. The new guys, they're okay, but it's just like they don't. It's not all about highlights now. I used to love, especially during baseball season, waking up every day and you got the boom game. Now it's like, oh, let's talk about what this person said. It's like, dude, I just want to see.
There's so many baseball games. Honestly, that's how I watch it.
Back in the day, it was
Sports Center.
nothing but highlights.
Yeah.
During football season, after every Sunday, Monday morning, highlight.
Yeah.
You just go right down. Now they had, like the other day, they showed like this minor league team had Prince night. This minor league team had like Beatles night.
What?
No, I don't effing care. Why is that on Sports Center? No one cares about Prince night. Rest in peace to him. He was a good musician. I don't care if they're wearing purple in the stadium. Don't care.
Well, I was gonna say I
Don't
do
care.
like the segment on Scott Van Pelt where they say where in the world is SVP or whatever,
Yeah.
and they see him in all these different sporting events and different just random events where
It's
they
awesome,
see a
but it's
lookalikes.
just, but like on Sports Center, I don't need that. I
That's-
want to watch
that's-
highlights.
I like it if it's like a 2-3 minute segment.
But sometimes
No problem.
they'll go a couple of games with that. Like
Right,
These,
yeah, I mean, they-
minor league team, no one cares
Yeah.
except for the one.
Well,
minor
Chris Davis was at a Keys game recently.
He was. That was
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Was that
Yeah.
on Sports? That probably was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were you?
Probably
Did you go?
Sports
Did you
Center.
watch
I
it?
did not.
I bet you that thing was sold out.
That place was packed, 100%.
What was that? I was about to say something about sports. Oh yeah, I saw something on Bleacher Report. It was a AAA team.
Uh-huh.
Fly ball in the infield. Everyone went to it. No one called it. Dude turned a pop up infield to a triple. Just kept running.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What's your viewpoint or what do you think of Tim Tebow right now? Are you keeping up with him?
I am. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be brought up to the majors, but I think he'll keep on moving up.
It's really surprising.
Dude's got some pop.
Yeah.
And he
I
can
mean-
field. He's athletic. I mean, what do
I
you want me
mean,
to say?
he's jacked.
athletic.
I mean, we know that he was built
He's
and
athletic.
he is athletic, but
Good for him.
it's really
Good for him.
surprising that
Good
he's
for
made
him.
this transition to baseball and he's thriving.
Good for him. I mean, his
Yeah.
average I think sucks, but you know what?
I mean, he's
it's-
making a name for himself
yeah,
at
good,
least.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I love the guy. He's probably one of the best. I'm sure they say he's one of the best people you can ever meet. So good for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny people, I don't know why I said that.
Funny
but,
people.
Peyton Manning completely just roast Kevin Durant.
Oh gosh.
Kevin
yeah.
Durant looked pissed. I don't know why Kevin Durant didn't laugh. I thought it was funny.
I heard he might be making a statement soon or something like that.
What's the big deal? It was funny. It's Peyton Manning. How can you get mad at that
I
big
don't
old
know,
forehead?
man. I don't know.
I thought it was funny. You think it was funny?
I did hear that he may be coming out with a statement to
Good for
kind
him.
of,
Good.
you know.
You know what? That's stupid. Would you make a statement or would you?
No, you just one of those things you just let it go.
I think
it was
funny.
a funny joke at the ESPYs. It was the
good.
ESPYs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ESPYs.
That's what they do. Drake was burning
yeah.
people. You don't see anyone making statements.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not gonna say why. Maybe just
it was
like
funny
Peyton.
because then he's like, "What do you think, Westbrook?" And Westbrook was like, stone face, like.
Peyton's fun, and the thing is, he writes these
my
things. I'm sure
gosh.
people saw it,
Oh yeah.
and they're probably like, "Go ahead and do it."
Yeah, because it's a joke.
Everyone else
it's
loved
a
it.
joke.
Everyone else loved
I
it.
mean, obviously he felt some type of way about it, but it's one of those things that you just gotta laugh off.
Speaking of
if you can't
jokes-
laugh at yourself, then
Speaking of jokes, how about this boxing tour for McGregor and Mayweather?
well, we were just talking about that. We were asking, who do you think is gonna win this
It's
fight?
gonna be Mayweather.
And honestly, I kind of hope it's like a double knockout. Honestly, I kind
I
of wish it
personally
was a
think it's
double
gonna be
knockout.
Mayweather, and this is why. McGregor in MMA, I like him. He's funny. He's good at promoting fights. But,
Oh, there's no doubt.
But what he's doing right now is just talking all this smack. And Mayweather's literally will say little things.
Yeah.
But Mayweather's just like, it's whatever, dude. When it
Honestly,
comes to it,
he's getting paid regardless
Mayweather's
of whatever
good.
happens.
He threw up a $100 million check.
I mean,
I wish I could do that. Not
What?
cash. He threw up a $100 million check, still not cash.
honestly,
Why does
I
this guy have
don't.
tax problems? Pay your
Who did
taxes,
that?
Mayweather.
Oh my god.
I
But
mean,
remember-
I personally don't like either one of them.
Mhm.
I really don't. But
He was getting on him though. What's his name was?
McGregor?
'Cause that's what he does.
yeah,
That's what he
can't
that's his
read.
McGregor
that's his
does
mo.
it for,
That's
McGregor
his
would be
MO.
perfect for WWE when he's done with
Oh
MMA.
yes, 100%.
But it's it'd be a great promotion fight. McGregor versus Chael Sonnen. Can you imagine
Oh,
the stuff they would
gosh.
say? Can you
Yeah.
imagine? But anyway, I mean, we'll talk more about the fight when we get close to it. Obviously, in the
Hey, it's only like a month and a couple weeks away.
By the way, are you paying $100?
Hell no.
Are you going to somewhere to watch it?
Maybe.
I may just stream it. Cause you just funny UFC now. People have been putting that joint on Facebook streaming it.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
found a couple fights on Facebook. Literally they go down. After
I
a
will
little
watch
bit.
the highlights the next day.
I'll find a stream
No,
now.
I'll watch the highlights the next
Speaking
day.
of boxing, I didn't I heard you guys talk about it last week. I had to turn it off because I was starting to eat and everything. Do you think Pacquiao got screwed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. We talked about this. I mean, I didn't watch the fight, so I can't be a judge.
But you went back and saw.
But I saw some highlights on SportsCenter later on that night.
And
I
look at the
saw
face difference.
The stats.
The
and
face.
me, you know me, I'm a numbers guy. So when I see the stats, there's no
Pacquiao's
freaking
face was
way.
like perfect. The other dude was like, and I love how Tony Atlas literally went up in the interview and said, "Just so you know, I think you lost the fight." And it's like, how could that guy even keep his composure?
Yeah.
And Pacquiao's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the rematch."
Yeah. Yeah.
He can't do that rematch in Australia. I don't think he's got to do it somewhere else.
I mean,
He's got.
I don't know
and
what the
then
clause
for that
was.
guy to have the audacity to call out Mayweather, are you stupid, dude?
Yeah.
You're gonna get destroyed.
What did you say? Like if you want a real fight or
Yeah,
something
see
like
me.
that?
I'll go to Vegas. This is freaking
Look,
retarded.
like I said, I
Australian.
don't like either one, but I just want someone to shut up Conor McGregor. I just want
It's
him to
gonna
be
be
shut
Mayweather.
up at some point.
Now I know. Now still, Mayweather may be saying, "I'll meet you now." He ain't gonna do that. Mayweather's too smart for that. But here's the thing, though.
No.
Here's my thing. If Mayweather,
He's going to get his 50-0 and he's going to walk away into the sunset
If
and
Mayweather-
hang out at a strip
if
club.
Mayweather would, let's say, go into the octagon with McGregor,
There's no way.
I know he wouldn't win. But if he actually was somehow, in 1 million of a chance, actually land a punch on McGregor with the smaller gloves, knowing what he can do with bigger gloves,
Uh-huh.
I think he would knock McGregor out.
I mean, we'll see.
Here's the thing. This is what McGregor's got to realize. I know he's training, which they posted the videos and they look horrible of him training. Mayweather's quick with those gloves. McGregor's uses small gloves. I think what's going to happen with McGregor is Mayweather we know is a defense guy.
Yeah.
Counter.
He's a counter
He's going to
puncher.
pull McGregor. McGregor's going to fall for
He's
that.
just going to get winded.
And I think McGregor may get knocked out.
Boxing is
Stamina.
stamina. It's at their weight class, at their size, it's stamina.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're talking freaking Mike Tyson, I mean, he was power. I mean, we saw that. That was power. But at this weight class, it's about stamina. It's about landing your punch over and over and over and wearing your opponent down to where that same punch can eventually knock you down. But it's not about the one hit power, the one hit punch.
That's a question for you, not for me. You can tell him. I don't know what that stuff is.
So I think McGregor's obviously going to come out hot. You know, he's going to come out swinging like he normally does in MMA. But you know, if Floyd can weather the early storm, it's easy money.
Okay. All right. I mean, really, you know, basketball, we still have some of the stuff going on. I'm sure you guys got into it more last week. Really, nothing has changed.
There hasn't been, as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been that many free agency signings since we last talked. At least big ones, you know. So, what else can we talk about? If we're gonna skip over NBA,
Really, I think that's gonna do. The British Open starts.
Wimbledon.
Murray gone.
Murray just lost to
Djokovic
an American.
gone. Well, he
Sam
got
Querrey.
out. Djokovic had to withdraw.
Djokovic had to withdraw
Americans
due
in
to
the
injury.
semis. Let's go USA.
Well, Venus Williams
is
just made it to the finals.
I love it. You know what? And with all the stuff going on with her, good for her.
With who?
Venus.
What's going on
The
with her?
incident that they said she supposedly killed someone, but she got off of it. I got to look it
Oh
up.
wow, I
No,
didn't hear
she
anything about
did
that.
in his car accident.
Yeah,
So
but they said-
something happened. Well, she got in an accident. It wasn't her
I
fault.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear him.
Oh, you can hear him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
You can't hear me?
But she got cleared, though.
I can hear you, not on my headphones.
I can hear her.
Oh,
But she
that's
got
weird.
cleared, though.
Yeah, and okay, so right, so they said that she got cleared because it wasn't her fault, the accident, but the accident
Oh.
resulted in the other person
Right.
dying. So she
Wow,
was
I did not know about that.
She was.
I'll
torn
have
up
to look
about
into that. That's wild.
But someone even asked her about it, and it's like, dude, come on. Like, you don't.
She
it's-
started crying, didn't
I know,
she? She
it's
like broke down.
I think some stuff you just don't ask during
That's just
something
a
like this.
dick move.
Yeah. But she started crying. But for her to
Yeah.
ball up her emotions and get to the finals is awesome.
yeah,
So good for him.
I've always
Good for
loved the
him, good for
Williams
her.
sisters.
Him,
I
her, whatever.
mean, did you hear about what happened with Serena and
Reddit?
when they asked McEnroe about Serena?
Oh yeah.
And they said obviously she's the best woman in the world, but what would happen if she was in the men's side?
I heard about it on the Junkies. What was his answer?
He said she's the greatest women's player of all time, but if she was in the men's bracket, that she would be top 700 in the world.
Well, I mean, you also
Yeah.
go back to there was a golfer, Annika Storms. I can't remember her last name. It's Annika Storm something.
Okay.
Who played in the men's tournament, didn't make the cut. I think
Yeah.
Michelle Wee did one men's tournament, I believe. She
Uh-huh.
didn't make the cuts. I mean, it's a different environment, especially for tennis, because you got to think about those guys probably hit a lot harder.
They do.
Like she would get
Her serve is in there with the guys, but in terms of movement, in terms of
I don't think she. I think if she
it's a different game.
if she would be
it's
on-
a
if she
different
was-
game.
if she was
you
on-
can't compare.
if she was on Wimbledon playing against a guy, let's say she went in, I think she could maybe sneak out of the first round or something. That's about it.
It's a different game though, and
I don't think
I
she'll
don't
get anywhere.
I really don't think that it's fair
I-
for him to say that.
No.
You know,
No.
I really don't. Just
It's a different. It's like for the women who play in golf. Yeah, you can hit long on the LPGA,
Uh-huh.
but you ain't catching up to the guys. Jason Day who hits
yeah, but
320.
it's a different game
Yeah.
again. You know, I don't think it's fair for him to be
It's like
comparing.
WNBA players can't play in the NBA.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not. We were not being sexist. It's just the way it is.
well,
I mean, can you imagine a WNBA player trying to go up, let's say, against LeBron James? Ain't even gonna be fair.
I mean,
Speaking of, actually, we can do that. Talk one thing about NBA real quick.
well, that's fine, but I don't think that it's fair that he said that.
Yeah. You can't because, like you said, it's a different game. It's
I think he just focused on the positives, the fact
that's
that
why
she is.
sports are separated because they're two different animals. It's not fair in terms of not competition wise. We're not saying she's bad. It's just I'm trying
It's
to
a different
I'm
game.
not trying to put this where I sound like a
It's a
sexist
different game.
butthole.
It's a different game
Yeah.
altogether.
Uh,
It really is.
Real quick before we go, NBA Lonzo Ball
Sure.
went. You know, he got triple double. He scored 30 something the other night.
Yeah.
Everyone's going crazy. Let me tell you something. Otto Porter and Glenn Rice Jr. a couple years ago were like co-MVPs of the
Uh-huh,
summer league.
uh-huh.
They sucked during the regular season. Glenn Rice didn't even make it halfway through the season. So
Right, because it's a different game.
you're playing against.
You're playing against
You're not
different
playing
competition.
against the big pros. So
It's a different competition.
big ball brand, slow your roll, buddy. Slow your roll. Let him go to the
Hey,
regular
but
season.
they're gonna take whatever publicity they can
I
get
know.
to.
What did you see the stuff they
Expand
did
their
on? Did you
brand.
see the stuff that happened on WWE? They're idiots.
I mean, I watched like maybe 30 seconds
Did you
of
hear what he
it.
said though?
No, I watched 30 seconds of it and I was like, this is stupid.
I mean, his son, his youngest, dropped the M-bomb twice.
I didn't see
on
that.
live. He had a live mic,
Uh-huh,
so it came
uh-huh.
across here. That's why you don't give a live microphone to a 14-year-old.
Oh gosh.
He said, beat that person's butt. Beat that
Mhm.
person's butt. Don't do that. And he didn't say butt either. He said the other word.
Yeah.
You can see during the segment they brought the wrestler out, and you can tell he came out earlier
Uh-huh.
because it wasn't done. Because the dude took off his shirt. Like, dude went crazy. Like, dude, like, and you
Hey,
knew it was
man,
gonna happen. Apparently,
again, Any publicity is good
Here's the
publicity
best
in
part.
there in the marketing world.
When they went to the back, what's the dad's name? Is the dad Lonzo?
Yeah.
No, the dad's
No,
not Lonzo.
uh,
LeVar
LeVar.
walked straight past Vince McMahon. The two sons shook Vince's hand. The dad went straight right past him.
Yeah, man.
The dude just let
is
you on W. You better shake that
larger
man's
than
hand.
life.
Whatever. So I think that's gonna do it for us today, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't know how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't have the sound ready just yet.
I really can't hear you in my mic in my headphones. That's so wild.
That's because you need a new hearing aid.
No, I'm telling you,
You're
I
deaf.
can't hear him in this in these headphones.
You're deaf.
I wonder if it's the distributor thing.
It could
Maybe.
be his
That
thing
might-
down
if
there.
you like wiggle it or mess with it, does it fix it?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, so I got the sound up. Watch this. All I gotta
Yep,
do.
there you are.
Boom! Now you can hear me. My wonderful voice, my radio voice. There it is. All right. So we need to give a big thank you and round of applause for Frank, aka Stiff, the
Frank Stiff Sardoni Jr.
2016 EA Madden champion. Thank you for him for coming on and letting us, giving us the opportunity to interview him. It went great. I think hopefully we can have him back on again. That would be fantastic, I think.
Yeah, man.
And so if you're watching on the Facebook stream, give us a like on our Facebook page /Shipe Sports Talk. Jump over to our YouTube channel, Shipe Sports Talk. Subscribe, like the video, give us some comments, let us know how everything went. Let us give us some topics, or let us know if you guys want us to talk about anything. I'm sure the fellas would love to talk about it on air, maybe give you a shout out. Anthony's not here, wasn't here today, but he will be back next week. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So he'll be back next week. I guess we're doing.
I think Anthony's just holding out for a new contract now that Matt signed his new contract.
Right.
Anthony's holding out for his new contract.
Face of SST, my butt.
Oh yeah, next Thursday we're gonna have the fearless leader back. The face of that. That was perfect.
I'm done. I quit. Show's over. We're quitting right now.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Anthony's gonna love that. But so he'll be back. Are you guys doing OT3?
Yes, we're doing OT3 because we got a preview Battleground. And we'll be back next week for our top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. Counting down to our fantasy football preview and count down to the 100th episode.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
And
that's
also,
gonna be awesome.
real quick, I know we're a month and a half away. Are we going to do a special NFL kickoff special here again this year for a third year in a row?
We should do it.
Awesome. We'll do it here since our establishment shut down.
Yeah. Who
I'll
knows
tell you
why?
about that.
Sounds good. Hey, man, can we play Madden? I really want to play Madden now. Like, we haven't played in forever.
All right,
You know what we should do is we should do an episode while you guys are talking, you guys are playing as well, and I can just put up the.
Hey, yeah, if we can stream
I
it,
can
that'd
put
be
up- I
awesome.
can
I'd
put
love
up-
We
to
can
do
get
that.
Anthony because he can play online.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go.
I can
We
put
do
the-
like a round robin tournament or something.
I
That'd
can
be
put
fun.
the stream. I can stream the game and then kind of like superimpose you guys on top of it, just so you guys are just like talking like faces.
That's
That'd be
cool.
We'll do it. We'll do it one day.
I'd have to start practicing. I haven't played in a while.
What if I beat you all? I haven't played that in forever.
If you beat me, I quit Madden.
Hey, let's get that in writing.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so that does it for me.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us again. I didn't get to say it, but U.S. Gold Cup is going on, so good
That
luck
is
to
Gold
them.
Cup, yep.
Somehow, I don't even want to talk about last night's game. That was a disaster. But good luck to USA. Also, Germany won the Confederation Cup. I didn't even got a chance to talk about that yet, so good job to them. And join us next week for our top 100. Good Lord. Top 10 wide receivers. So goodbye, everyone. Thanks again to Stiff for joining us, man. And have a good weekend.
See ya.
Good night.
Happy early birthday to my little cousin.
Oh yeah.
His own daughter, and he forgot.